everyone, it's Psychic Medium JoJo Empathic here. I'm going to make a quick video for you on today's mediumship symbol of the day. So this is a good one. So the symbol is umbrella. So when Spirit is speaking to you, maybe when you're asking, what the heck is going on? Why am I facing this stagnancy? Why am I in pain? How can I heal what's going on in my physical body? You might hear the symbol umbrella. Or if you're clairvoyantly tapped in and you're looking into your own field, you may see what looks like an umbrella over you. Kind of that umbrella-like shape that goes over your head. Or you might see a spiritual parasite, which can look like a blob, an orb. You can just know, feel, or sense that it's a lower energy. When you are tuned into your field and all of a sudden you feel or see something on the upper part of your body, like from probably your waist up, you might feel like you're covered, like an umbrella would be covering you. So I have a basic picture here, don't laugh at my drawing. But when I see an umbrella parasite, it kind of looks like this. You know, like an umbrella looks like this. And this is not like an art masterpiece here. This is a basic representation. You've got you with your chakras, your Merkaba, your quantum field, your cosmic egg, you could say. So if we draw your cosmic egg, you're probably more like this, right? So you've got all of these different subtle bodies of energy. Check out my book, Spiritual Awakening with Ancient Intelligence. It's on my website, jojoempathic.com. Just download it. It's really good. It goes over the subtle body energies. So that make up you, your aura in your field. So you might begin to notice that you have something kind of covering you. So if we think of the symbology of an umbrella, you hold an umbrella to keep the rain out, right? So the spiritual parasite umbrellas are like this. They're kind of over you. They're covering you. A lot of times we throw these up subconsciously because we want to stay hidden. We want to feel protected and we don't feel safe. So a lot of times we create these thought forms, which grow into entities in consciousness from our own feelings of insecurity, our belief that we aren't worth much, or that we don't have enough self-worth to want to be seen or loved, or, you know, a lot of times people that really, really want a relationship and they've been single forever, they may subconsciously feel unavailable because there's parts of them that they still want to work on. There's parts of them that they feel need healing. There's parts of them that they are just really trying to get perfect. So a lot of times when we're trying to strive for this perfect self, we end up blocking ourselves with spiritual parasites that we would call an umbrella. So when Spirit's saying umbrella, it obviously is important to ask if this symbol is at face value or symbolically. So if it's more face value, it could be a positive symbol. Just like with everything, there's a high vibrational energy and a low vibrational energy. So the higher vibrational energy of an umbrella symbol would be that you're protected and you're covered. Okay, so that's a good time that we want to hear umbrella. Maybe we're going off and venturing into a new opportunity with work and we're a little bit scared about it, but Spirit's saying, umbrella, you're safe, you're covered. You'll know that it's a very positive symbol. So on the flip side, usually when I'm doing medical intuitive or just reading someone in general, when I see or hear the word umbrella, it's typically referring to a spiritual parasite. So I would call this an umbrella parasite. The concept of a spiritual parasite is often used metaphorically to describe energy or entities that drain one's energy or negatively impact an individual's spiritual, emotional, or mental well-being. So when we talk about a spiritual parasite of an umbrella, it may refer to a situation or belief system that acts as a protective shield, but over time it begins to drain the energy of the person or hinder their personal growth instead of offering true protection. That's what dark energy is. It's usually a guise, an illusion. You know, the entity or energy will say, I'm helping you, right? But they're not. It's hindering, it's enabling, it's covering. So we want to remove it. So you can think of an umbrella parasite almost as if it's a thought form that's covering someone's quantum field. Where does it come from? One's own thoughts, one's own belief systems. That's all energy being projected. Not really going anywhere, but more so being trapped in one's own microcosmic orbit. And then you have it built up over time because you don't address it or you don't deal with it or don't clear it. And then you have not just the energy of thoughts in your field, it begins to have consciousness and develops into a thought form. And this is how a lot of dark form entities begin with humans, with our thoughts. We create them. So in this metaphor, the umbrella could symbolize a form of emotional or spiritual defense. Okay, someone that always has their hand up. They want all the blessings to come in, but they're like this, right? It's a form of, it's like a coping mechanism. It's a rigid belief, or it's an external influence that at first seems to provide protection from one's life's challenges. However, as time passes, this umbrella may become an obstacle rather than a shield. It's important to understand that it could be something that keeps someone stuck in an old pattern belief, a form of distraction, and preventing them from embracing new opportunities like spiritual growth, healing, and peace. And a lot of times if we're trying to stay safe, we're not really trying new things. We're not really branching out there and meeting new people, having new opportunities. We like to stay safe in our little bubbles or umbrellas because uncertainty and unpredictability is uncomfortable. Branching out into a new field for work or into a new relationship that will be more healthy, although it seems like that's a good thing, it can be very scary to people because we find comfort in what's familiar. Okay, so the parasite in this context might be the attachment to the umbrella. So you could be really forming like the tentacles. A lot of times we see spiritual parasites like octopus, right? You could be forming that connection here to feed you in some way. And it's basically you have it in place to provide safety to you, and it keeps you in a stage of stagnation. So the key to overcoming this is to let go of what's no longer serving your soul's evolution, allowing the freedom to step out from underneath the umbrella and embrace the full spectrum of life's journey. I'm just reading along here a paragraph I have for you guys. So what can an umbrella spiritual parasite look like? If you can imagine a shadowy, otherworldly entity that's shaped like an umbrella, it's like a canopy that's translucent or black or gray. Sometimes it can look veiny like a winged insect. You see where I'm going with this? Like a literal umbrella. And pulsates with an eerie bioluminescent pattern. This could be symbols or flickers like arcane ruins. So it's like basically you have a thought form in your field that's like, it's like pulsating. So a lot of times when we have like a ruminating thought, a lot of times this, if we think of like, let's say it has an eye, right? It has like this consciousness. And it's just like a heartbeat is beating. So your parasite is feeding your mind the same old thoughts over and over again. So when we have a lot that's being looped in our mind, ruminating thoughts, it's coming from this. So let's say, I'll give you an example to make this practical. You had stage fright as a child. You went on stage and you had soul fragmentation on stage because people booed you. Okay? They said, boo, you suck, get off stage, right? So that put you into a frightened state in your heart, and your mind went into fight or flight, and all of that energy began to accumulate in your field somewhere. You held on to it for comfort, and then all of a sudden it became this parasite. So every time as an adult now you're hearing, you suck, you shouldn't be on stage, you should hide yourself, don't go out there, don't try something new. And that's how it forms. as simple as that. A lot of times we feel so much guilt for having spiritual attachments or parasites or entities. We think we're a bad person, and that's just not the case. So I'm here to kind of normalize this, that was a really basic example that can happen to anyone, and it happens to a lot of people. A lot of times these come from situations with other people, community, shaming, gaslighting. So that's why we want to be fluid always with our energy flow instead of holding on to things. So if you go get a massage, you might feel relief after you've let all of that tension out of your muscles, right? You're no longer clenching, you're relaxed. Now your chi or your kai or your prana, your Holy Spirit, your Holy Ghost, it can flow through you with ease and grace once you are relaxed and cleansed and released, okay? So long tendrils can connect here to here like an octopus. You could probably see threads or cords latching to someone's energy field or aura of the unaware person. So this is why your awareness is so key to your healing. So each tendril is connected to a glowy orb on the canopy, which slowly fills with spiraling essence stolen from its host. So there's this transaction that's taking place between the spiritual parasite and the host, right? So this person, let's see here. So we have our guy here, right? Okay. And then this guy is angry. His heart is generating hate. His mind is pissed off. He's just generating all of this. It begins to spiral in his field. It gets trapped. All of these thoughts, all of these negative emotions. It's like a canopy, and it's connected. So you've got your life force here running up and down, and you've got your life force running up and down through you. You're the living cross, right? So that's what you've done to you if you have this stagnancy or parasite. There's an energetic reaction taking place between the host and the parasite. That's why we call it a spiritual parasite. So at the center of the umbrella, you could say there's an eye, right? There's a consciousness if it's not taken care of over time. And it can feel like someone's watching you or that there's something looming over you. It can feed off your fear, your doubt, or your stagnation. A lot of times those energies lead to addiction, and that can also feed it and make it grow larger. All of a sudden you have the spiritual parasite umbrella that's now here and here. It's just like completely taken over you, your umbrella. So how do you clear this? So you want to psychically remove your spiritual parasites. So take time to sit in a meditation-like ritual. First, you're going to ground yourself. Then you're going to go ahead and scan your body, and you locate where there's twitching, where there's pain, where you just know there's a parasite. You can also see it at times. They can look like slugs or octopus. They can have tentacles. It can look like an umbrella shape over you, a blanket over you. Okay? That blanket that was once used to keep you warm and comfortable is now blocking all of your blessings from coming into your field. So it can appear like a gray blob, a black orb. It can look slimy like a slug or a leech. And you're going to focus your concentration on the spiritual parasite, and you're going to ask Spirit for understanding on how you picked it up or how you formed the parasite. So your awareness of the behavioral patterns that led to this attachment is key to keeping yourself clear. Because if I know that whenever I need to start a new job, I start getting very anxious and doubtful in myself. So I know that next time I start a new job, I need to be mindful of that. That's a very basic example. The next time I start a new job or new opportunity, I'm going to be optimistic. I'm going to remember to be faithful. I'm going to believe in myself versus going and spiraling in this negative direction. That can help you to keep yourself clear from attracting another parasite or forming one in your field. And a lot of times these are things that are very hard for us. They're generational curses that we're breaking. They're addictions that we're breaking. That's why we don't just let it go so easily. And that's why with time it's formed this chronic type of false protective shield around us, because it's habitual, it's kind of stuck and engraved in our mind, it's a way we think, behavior or pattern that's been passed to us through socialization or through family. So your awareness of how it happened is super important to keep yourself clear. So once you've gained awareness of the frequencies and patterns that are holding you back, I'm going to provide you with 3 different methods that can help you with releasing this attachment. Number 1 is the vacuum method. So imagine like a large vacuum on top of your crown that's going to suck up through your silver tube. I drew the silver tube kind of like, or your energy, right? So if you go to my website, jojoempathic.com, and you look on my front page, you'll see my scheduling. And under energy healing session, you'll see a picture of what you look like clairvoyantly. So let's say we have you. You're like this first, before you're physical. Okay, so that's kind of you, and it's like this. It's your spirit, and there's this chi or life force or prana or kai just running through you. So you can visualize a vacuum, like something with a hose, and you're just going to place it here, your vacuum. And then you're going to turn the switch on. And then it's going to suck everything from this tube, everything through the spine, through the chakras, these gateways, because they're all gateways, like visualize your spine with the nerves. So it's just sucking all of that out into a transmuter box, your vacuum, your etheric vacuum. Okay? So visualize it going onto your crown, turn the switch on, and suck out all the lower energy parasites that are draining your energy. And it's also good to visualize the energy leaving your body, maybe gray or black or stagnant, and being transmuted into light, to higher frequencies, sparkly energy. Number 2, and I want to also go back, you can also put the vacuum right on your umbrella, right on your spiritual parasite, wherever it is. Method 2 is the dissolving method. This is where you're focusing your concentration on the parasite and visualizing it being dissolved. Sometimes this is known as psychic surgery. As it's being dissolved, you can think of it shrinking in size until it completely disappears. Your intention is to transmute the lower frequency into a higher frequency as energy never dies. You may visualize an inescapable ring of light surrounding the parasite that grows closer and closer to the parasite until it's completely gone and you've transmuted it higher. Step 3 could be call in your angels. So you can call in Source, you can call in your angels. Archangel Michael really helps with entity removal, Jesus, or your favorite ascended master that you work with to help you to remove it. You're going to want to follow up with some sort of Reiki or energy healing session. It's important that immediately you recalibrate your own quantum field. So bring light or color rays into your body afterwards, filling up all spaces where you removed energy. So I offer spiritual clearing packages that can assist you with this process. It's a total of 3 hours to assist you in releasing attachments, including all paranormal activity in your life. Not only just spiritual parasites, but earthbound spirits that are stuck on your field, or soul fragmentations of other people's consciousness with you, thought forms, dark force entities, monitoring devices, and extraterrestrial attachments. So my package begins with a 1-hour paranormal consultation where I give you a consult. Basically, we start in childhood and go over all of the different frequencies, your emotions, the traumas, the events that may have led you to holding on to these lower frequencies as an attachment or as a guide or as a form of protection. Then I give you the understanding and teachings to help you to release it yourself, to keep yourself clear, your property, your home, your pets. So it's very, very powerful. Then the second hour, we go into an assisted meditation where I psychically assist you in removing attachments. A lot of times I'm reading through a script of questions that I have set for every client that I'm communicating with the dark entity or earthbound spirit, asking questions to heighten your awareness of how this began, what your frequency was when the attachment formed, what was this frequency of the spirit attachment, why is it there, and is there anything that needs to be said so we can finally transcend and let go. It's important to know you're a sovereign being by law in the universe, and your intention and knowing of that will help you to stay clear. So the third hour in the package is usually, we'll close off at 2 hours, and I'll say come back in a few days. If entities or energies are not removed in that session, then you come back for another spirit release session. A lot of times I'll go a lot deeper with you psychically to help them remove. And then we can follow with that session a brief quantum healing that usually takes place. Otherwise, if we've cleared all the entities, the first session you can come back for an energy healing session for the entire hour. It just depends. If there are severe cases of spiritual attachment or possession, I may have to refer you to a clinical hypnotherapist because I'm not a clinical hypnotherapist, and I can't do extreme cases legally. So hypnotherapy is what I have found through my research and experience is one of the most powerful ways to depossess yourself. And thankfully, there's amazing souls out there that specialize just in clinical spirit release therapy that I would recommend for you if I can't help. But I'm usually very successful in helping my clients to clear themselves without having to go that extra mile. So your empowerment is what will really help you. And looking into the different contracts you've signed throughout your life, signing on or signing off of them and closing quantum doors will also really help. So you will feel an immediate shift. I have a lot of clients that tried like deliverance ministries that didn't work and really resonate with this form of healing. So my mission is to empower you to heal and clear yourself. I hope this was helpful. Drop comments of when you've seen spiritual parasites, what they look like to you, how you remove them. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and also visit jojoempathic.com/paranormal consultation clearing. I'll put the link in the description box. Thank you.